Okay friends, so we are going to talk about what's the diff between the colored labels and the white labels. So I'm going to tell you right now, and nothing. There is no difference. Both of these oils are peppermint. They both are Seed to Seal certified. That is the exact same pure, delicious, amazing Young Living oils that we all know and love. So why the different labels, you ask? Okay, so according to FDA regulations, you can't have something that has instructions for topical or aromatic purposes and something that is for dietary and or culinary purposes labeled the same. So aromatic and topical use, dietary and culinary, exactly the same oil, possibly even from the same batch, but they have to be labeled differently for FDA regulations. So in Canada, ours have like a little plus here, it's called the plus line. In the United States, it's called the vitality line. So it'll say either plus or vitality. In this class, we put just on like the recipes white label, because if you're in the US, it's vitality. If you're in Canada, it's plus. So I just wrote white label. So same Seed to Seal, amazing, awesome oils that we all know and love. So like for example, if you wanted to put some peppermint in your diffuser and you don't have any of this, but you have this, it's exactly the same. This can go in your diffuser and vice versa. So now you know.
So today we're talking about oils that we can use in the kitchen, oils that we can be adding to drinks or recipes that we're making, and a couple of places you can look to find out whether an oil is safe for ingestion or not is in your app. If you have the reference app on your phone, you will see the acronym GRAS, and what that stands for is generally regarded as safe. And what that means is if you're looking through your app, you look up a specific oil and it says GRAS, that means that it has been approved by the FDA as safe for consumption. So when you have your product guide here, there are specific pages in here where there are oils with the white labels, where in Canada it's called the plus line. Those are dietary essential oils. They are safe to be ingesting. They're safe to be adding to your recipes, to serve to your family and to your friends. And we've talked about the different labels. So these ones all have the white labels. We know when we see a bottle with the white label and the plus sign, I've got one right here, that this one is safe for ingestion and adding to recipes. So, and also if you have the really big desk reference book, it's like a huge oily encyclopedia almost, there's a full page in there that lists all the oils that are GRAS, generally regarded as safe for consumption. So if you're looking for some ideas or some recipes, Young Living has a blog. It's called The Lavender Life. And there's lots of different recipes and suggestions on how to use these oils and which ones are great to be adding to different recipes and things that you're making. So I just want to encourage you to have some fun with these oils. I use them in a lot of my recipes, and if it has a white label, you can use it confidently knowing that it is safe and approved by the FDA for ingesting in your recipes, and to just have some fun with that.
Hi, so I'm standing here with Dr. David Stewart, who has his PhD in, what was it, physics and math, right?
And also natural medicine.
And also in natural medicine, which is amazing. And he wrote a book, or published a book called The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple. Do you mind holding that up, Dr. Stewart,
Sure.
for people to see? There, this is an excellent, excellent book. Can you tell people where they could get it from? Is it Life Science Publishers or Amazon?
Life Science Publishing, Amazon.
Amazon.com, any of those. This is a must-have book. Dr. Stewart has been an authority on essential oils for quite a long time, obviously very research-based. So Dr. Stewart, I had a question for you. I've had many team members ask me, based on what they've been reading across the internet from certain groups, about, or certain organizations, I should say, who do aromatherapy, who claim that the ingestion of essential oils could be harmful to their health over time, either acutely or over time, and more specifically how it relates to their livers and or kidneys. Could you have any comments on that?
Well, this is based upon, this is the British School of Aromatherapy, and they base their ideas on animal research. none of their additives are based on research on humans. And the research on animals is generally not the normal use of essential oils. They're toxicity studies where they try to see how much of a substance does it take to kill the animals.
Oh, wow.
And so they're trying to find a lethal dose. Well, everything has a lethal dose. Even water has a lethal dose. And there have been cases where people have drunk too much water too fast, and it's been toxic. So you can't take animal studies like that and compare them to the practice in aromatherapy, where we just use a few drops of oil at a time. The oil does not accumulate in your liver. It cannot. It's completely metabolized if it's a pure therapeutic grade oil. Now, if it's an adulterated oil, then there might be problems. But and the British are not very good on picking therapeutic grade oils. And a lot of their oils are adulterated. They're not even natural. And so their conclusions are based upon a different kind of oil than we use. They're not talking about young living oils. Besides doing animal studies that they like to quote, they also like to do studies on specific compounds in an oil instead of the whole oil. And you can't do that. You can't do research on baking soda and conclude how a cake is going to be. There are toxic ingredients in lots of the things that we eat by themselves, but in combination when you have the finished product, they're not. And there are toxic compounds in essential oils, but in the oil, they're not toxic. For example, myrrh, which is probably one of the safest oils in the world and has been used for thousands of years, has a compound called xylene in it. Xylene is a very poisonous substance, but in the myrrh, it's not. And compounds behave differently in the company of other compounds. So just like people, you don't have the same behavior towards your children as you do towards your spouse or the people you go to church with. You know, we have a different personality for each circumstance. Oils are like that, and oils which might be harsh and toxic in a certain environment can be therapeutic and gentle in another. And that's another fallacy of these people that are talking about these dangers of the oil. They'll take one compound out of context, and if it's hazardous, then they condemn the whole oil. And that just isn't a valid thing to do. And another thing they do in their studies, which they love to quote studies, they never tell you the grade of oil that they're using. They're almost all perfume grade oil studies. They're not therapeutic grade oil studies. So they have research that's probably decent research, but it's inappropriately applied, and they draw inappropriate conclusions.
Wow, that was great. I really appreciate you taking the time to even speak to us. Obviously, very fact-based. How long have you been practicing essential oils?
15 years.
15 years. And you are the head of the CARE Institute, right? And
Yeah.
raindroptraining.com?
Yeah.
Is that where people could find more information
Yeah,
about
right.
you and what you do?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, Dr.
You're
Stewart. I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank
That's why
you.
I like to do it.
Thank
Great.
you. I use these Plus Line oils every day. I'm using them in different recipes. So whether I'm adding it to my ningxia, or I'm adding it to a salad dressing or a different salad. Some of my favorite ways is lime in my guacamole. I also love rosemary on chicken. I love a little bit of oregano or basil in a pasta, and a little goes a long way. I have cilantro as well, and it is so strong. And what I think about with these oils is a lot of them have names similar to herbs that we're familiar with. So like basil or cilantro, oregano, thyme. If these are oils that or herbs and spices that I'm using, just knowing for me that these are super high quality. And one thing we've learned with essential oils is that they have more nutritional content than an herb. Because the herb has been dried, a lot of the nutrition is gone. So just by adding oregano to your pasta sauce or basil to your salad dressing, you're not only enjoying the flavor, but there's also so many health benefits that those oils offer for different body systems, that you're enjoying the flavor, but you're also getting health benefits from it. So that's one thing that I think about when I'm deciding what oils to use in the kitchen and in my different recipes. I'm thinking, what body systems do I need to support? What herbs and spices am I regularly using that also come in an oil that I can be using to get even more nutrition into my body? And so there are lots of videos on YouTube that Young Living has put out on different recipes and different blends that you can be adding to your recipes. And you know, we don't always like the same stuff, but there's soups, there's dressings, there's lemonades, there's cookies and scones and icing recipes. There's so many variety of ways to use these oils and to enjoy not only the flavor, but also the health benefits that come with it. So I just want to encourage you. They have been approved by the FDA, these Plus Line oils for ingestion. And not only does it taste good, but there's also so many health benefits that come with it. So have some fun with your oils. Ask a friend, ask in the co-op, you know, what are people using, or what are some great recipes to be incorporating these oils into our diets and into our lifestyles. So, and if you have some that you like, share that with us. We always love trying new things and hearing what's working for other people. So feel free to share that with us in the co-op as well. So I just want to encourage you, enjoy your oils, have fun with them, learn how to use them in the kitchen, because there's so many health benefits, not just in the flavor, but for nutritional content as well.